What's up, everybody? Ben here. Got some bead lock wheels and tires that I am preparing to put on this Raptor 250 that I've been working on. I bought these bead lock wheels and tires from Alba whenever I bought a bunch of other parts for this Raptor 250. So it was just kind of one more thing to get from them. I haven't ever done bead locks on an ATV. Every other sport quad I've ever had either had factory dirt tires, because I really don't ride that much dirt, or something like this that's just a polished Douglas with some, ITP or Maxxis or Kenda tires or something like that. Almost all my riding in the past on quads has been sand, so usually the factory tires were fine for a little bit of dirt riding that we did, but most of it was sand, so we had scat tracks or something like that. So anyways, I bought this set of, it was just whatever they recommended at Alba. So it's a 9-inch rear wheel and a 10-inch front wheel, which is similar to factory sizes, I believe. And as you can see, I already have done one of each, front and rear. And it's a nice setup. Black wheel, white beadlock ring, to match this Raptor 250 that's all black and white, and getting close to getting this thing on the ground. I'm waiting on disc rotors or brake rotors, brake discs for the final assembly to get the wheels on and then put this thing on the ground. So then I can continue with adjustments and body and stuff. So anyways, I'm just going to do a quick little run around of these. I did a similar video for UTV wheels and tires last year. You can look it up if you'd like. I did some bead locks for one of my R-Maxes, and I did some bead locks for one of my YXZs, my son's YXZ. Not this one, but it looks very similar to this one. It's nicknamed Ice. It has some wheels that are bead locks. So anyways, I'm going to, I think I'll start with rear tire right here. So it's a nice wide, what is this? 20 by 11 by 9. And these are ITP Holeshots. All right, so the way I start this is I have the back of the tire, or the inside. These tires are not directional, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just doing the side that has the label is the back. I take the beadlock wheel. This side has the bolt pattern, and the diameter of this is slightly smaller than the side that has the regular bead that's not a beadlock. So it's easy to push on. I don't even really use lube most of the time, but some people use tire goop or tire lube, or just even like some soap. But as long as it's a beadlock, you can usually just push it right in. I'm not a professional tire guy. There's probably a reason to use that tire bead lube, because I think it does have like some sealing properties. I've just never used it, so this would probably be easier if I did stuff like that, but I don't. There it is. So then you just flip it over. And do your best to center the wheel on the tire. It doesn't have to be perfect quite yet to get the thread started, but you don't want it to start off wrong, at least. Here's the beadlock ring. Try to line up these holes with the wheel holes. Alba's bead locks are very similar to like Douglas or Sandcraft, in that it has these two. It's a every 2 bolt holes have one of these back ears, and you just thread through the ring and the wheel and just kind of finger start. And because it goes every 2, you have to make sure your spacing is correct. So these 2, these 2, these 2, and then these 2. And you do want to do, you know, opposite sides to initially. That helps you stay centered. And helps you get everything torqued down properly. It's really important not to use power tools, especially here when you're just initially threading things. Sometimes if I just need to spin a little bit more, I'll just use the socket alone in my hand. So it's still not using any power. The main thing is that you can feel the bolt threading. These are nice because the bolts are long enough to go through. I've dealt with other wheels in the past where the bolts are not very long, so you have to do a workaround just to get them started, and that sucks. It's a lot of extra work. But Alba has designed these in such a way that that's not a problem. It's really nice. Okay, almost there. Okay, so all the bolts are started. Right now I can feel around the bead, feel if it's centered or not. Something else I like to do sometimes is just roll it. None of it's really tight yet. It's all loose. So if you just kind of shake it around, I like to do that to get it, you know, kind of where it settles. But the main thing is that you can just feel it and see it. Okay, feels good to me. Still no tool, not even a wrench. All I'm doing is spinning this with my fingers in a star pattern until I feel like it's finger snug. Okay, they're all kind of started. Now what I'm going to do is go over to the compressor get some air. So the back of the wheel is not seated at all on the tire. So it's probably just going to leak a bunch of air out unless it happens to catch, and it'll start. Okay, so I'm going to tighten these. And again, I'm not really tightening them. I'm just kind of giving them a couple more spins. All I really want is the rubber to touch the metal so that the air doesn't leak out with just a couple of pounds of air. There we go. So you can see the tire rising. So the bottom, the bead on the back of the tire is at least holding. It's not going to pop on yet. See, there's a gap around here. Don't put your finger in there because it'll pop on and it might get you. But there's a gap here, and the more air pressure you put in, the more the tire will push out onto the wheel. As it's doing that, I'm also kind of tightening these to make sure that the tire is staying centered. Okay, so it's holding about 10 pounds of pressure now. You'll notice this is a pretty short ratchet as well, so it's physically not possible for me to be putting a whole lot of torque on these, so all I'm doing is trying to get it to hold air. That's 16 PSI, which is more air than I really would like to run, but I'm over inflating them on purpose to try to get this bead in the back to set. I might go to about 20 and stop. All right, so that's 20. I'm not really at risk of hurting anything. The sidewall says that this tire can take up to 36 PSI. All I'm doing now is trying to get that bead to set. think it's there. It didn't pop on. Some tires do that. It didn't pop on, it kind of slipped on, but I don't see a gap or feel a gap in the back anymore. And that's it, really. I'm going to get a torque wrench and check these. Alba's instructions says 6 to 7 foot-pounds of torque, which is not very much. So it's kind of funny when you're torquing these down, you can feel as you tighten one, the two next to it get loose, or vice, or in some ways the whole thing kind of loosens as you tighten, if that makes any sense. So as the ring is compressing, it affects the other bolts as well. So you really have to go around it several times. And if you lose your order, once they're all pretty snug and you're down to small changes, I just kind of go around and I feel them all out. All right, now I can. With such a low torque value, it might even be hard to feel it in your torque wrench if you have the old style like mine, where you have to feel it bump. Okay, so they're starting to hit torque. And that's it. I'll do the front one the same way as this rear one. And I'll do it in time lapse so it doesn't take so long. That's all there is to it. ATV beadlock wheels. If you have a UTV, look on my channel. Last year I did some bigger wheels and tires, some 32s on Douglas wheels or Kaiser wheels, I can't remember. So anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content on this Raptor 250 or any of the other projects we have going on around here.